are nations scrambling for F-35 spare parts while the US downplays risks? As Europe sharpens its focus on defense autonomy, the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter program, a symbol of global military collaboration, is showing signs of strain over parts access, logistical bottlenecks, and increasing concerns about operational independence from the United States. Who's in the spotlight? Norway just became the first F-35 partner nation to complete its full order of 52 F-35 jets, according to Lockheed Martin. But while the final 2 airframes have landed, questions linger about long-term maintenance, spare parts availability, and whether the United States, still in command of much of the program's back-end operations, can be relied on in every scenario. Norway takes control of its maintenance future. In a significant move toward defense independence, Norway recently opened a dedicated 5,000 square meter maintenance center at Rygge Air Base. The facility, operated by Kongsberg Aviation Maintenance Services and the Norwegian Defense Materiel Agency, will now handle future upgrades and repairs locally. Previously, Norwegian jets had to rely on Italy's MRO and U-Center in Kangare for intermediate maintenance. This strategic shift not only gives Norway a more direct hand in managing its fleet, but also enhances the resilience and responsiveness of its national defense system by securing the supply chain domestically. The creation of a national facility will give Norway independent capacity to carry out this work locally. Kongsberg emphasized, highlighting benefits like increased operational availability and tighter supply chain control. The spare parts puzzle, a hidden pressure point. As more nations integrate the F-35 into their air forces, spare parts logistics have emerged as a critical challenge. Endre Lund, a senior advisor at Norway's Defense Procurement Agency, explained the intricacies of parts ownership and distribution. Most F-35 components remain under U.S. ownership until installed, and cross-national part transfers are extremely rare. Components, even those manufactured by national industries like Kongsberg, are routed through centralized systems under Lockheed Martin's umbrella. This means partner nations don't buy directly from their own companies. Everything is pooled and distributed through U.S.-managed contracts, limiting nations' flexibility in urgent or isolated operational needs. Lund pointed out that spare part exchanges between F-35 nations are minimal, with Norwegian parts typically only shipped to the U.S. for repairs. This dependence adds a layer of vulnerability, especially in times of political tension or global crisis. Italy's Cameri facility, Europe's MRO, and U-Workhorse. Italy, meanwhile, is expanding its role within the F-35 ecosystem. On March 24, a U.S. F-35 jet landed at Cameri Air Base for maintenance, the first American jet to undergo overhaul outside the U.S. funded by Italy and operated jointly by Leonardo, Lockheed Martin, and the F-35 Joint Program Office. Cameri Center is known as the Euro-Mediterranean F-35 Airframe Depot. This facility is the only site in Europe authorized for heavy maintenance and anti-radar coating work, offering essential services for the Italian, Norwegian, and Dutch fleets. It sits adjacent to a final assembly line for European F-35s and now plays a vital role in sustaining a growing number of jets on the continent. Captain Sigfrido Cianducci, Italy's representative to the F-35 Joint Program Office, called Italy's investment significant, underscoring expectations of strong returns in terms of regional security and defense capacity. U.S. influence and European autonomy, a strategic tug-of-war. European concern over U.S. control of the F-35 program has grown since the Trump administration, which sparked debates over America's reliability as a defense partner. Speculation around a so-called kill switch that could disable F-35s remotely has been firmly denied by Lockheed Martin, but the mere perception of such control raises red flags for allies. Despite U.S. assurances, the ecosystem surrounding the F-35, from operations to upgrades to software infrastructure, is heavily American. For nations striving to build sovereign defense capabilities, this model presents a paradox: enhanced security through advanced weaponry, but reduced autonomy in maintaining and deploying it. The Netherlands and global logistics, a case study. The Netherlands operates one of 3 global logistics hubs for F-35 parts at Woensdrecht Air Base. Though Dutch companies produce key components like radar and power systems, parts flowing through the hub are U.S. property until installed. The Netherlands supplies several countries, including Israel, with parts, highlighting the tightly interwoven nature of the program. A recent court case brought by humanitarian organizations in the Netherlands sought to halt F-35 parts shipments to Israel, shedding light on the centralized, American-led logistics model that governs how parts are shared, allocated, and tracked globally. Readiness and redundancy. Training for the unknown. Given the program's reliance on U.S. infrastructure, Norway has begun training its pilots and crews to operate F-35s without access to central maintenance servers. Finland, which ordered 64 F-35s, has taken similar precautions by building a stockpile of spare parts and establishing its own logistics strategy to ensure continuity during crisis. This security of supply model is becoming increasingly common among F-35 nations, each working to ensure they can operate independently if geopolitical tensions ever disrupt supply lines or server access. In summary, the F-35 may be a marvel of modern military engineering, but the deeper story lies in how it's sustained. While US downplays fears over remote control and parts management, European partners are investing heavily in domestic facilities and stockpiles to ensure independence. As global defense tensions rise, the race to secure spare parts and the autonomy they represent may prove just as important as the jets themselves. What do you think?